your body. Listen to your body, tips and tools to understand your body's messages. Hi, Sudh Bhavya. Nice to see you here. Welcome. And so that's the topic today. So if you are in any sort of chronic pain or any sort of pain, or have something going on with your body that doesn't feel at ease, you know, maybe you have a disease, maybe you have some sickness, or maybe you're just curious, right? Just to say, hey, how do I pay attention to my body? How does that happen, right? And you are interested in natural ways of staying healthy and have natural health and vitality, then this will be helpful, definitely. You can begin to become aware. So let's start with feet. Now, when you think of your feet, right? Feet help you move forward, right? Without the feet, you would not be able to move forward. How would you move forward? The feet carry you forward. So the feet, that is, so if you've got anything going on with your feet, I don't care if it's a skin thing that's going on with your feet, or you've sprained your feet, or you've sprained a pinky in your, a little finger, anything that's going with your feet, the message is that moving forward is feeling painful, is feeling stressful, is, and also feet kind of take you to places, right? And feet, which direction am I going? So all these issues, when you have lack of clarity, when you're fearful moving forward, when you're afraid to take action to move forward, it's all to do with your feet chakra, right? So feet is, so anytime you have anything going on with your feet, you might go to the doctor, you've sprained your thing, you wear your feet, whatever, balm, you put the, whatever, take the medicine. But remember to ask yourself, like, what are the fears moving forward? What feels painful moving forward, right? And there are actually different parts, like the heel is like a different message, and the fingers, and I'm not getting into all that, but generally, what feels fearful or painful moving forward? Okay, moving on to the ankles. Now the ankles is the area which carries the whole weight of the body, right? That's where it's supporting, it's like at the base of your body. And so ankles have to do with strength, like feeling strong and carrying the weight of your body, right? But metaphorically, where are you feeling weighed down? Like, what's making you feel weighed down and you're not feeling strong, holding that weight? What's the weight that's weighing down on you that's making you feel not strong? And also when you think of ankles, again, it's kind of related with the foot, right? Because it's it's close to that part of the body. And so when you think of ankles, like when you want to move left, when you want to move right, you move your ankle and then your foot moves too. So it also has to do with lacking direction, lacking clarity about which way to move forward. Moving forward with the feet, but which way to move forward, right? So feeling weighed down moving forward, not feeling strong moving forward, not having clarity about which way to move forward, or just having too much responsibility and feeling weighed down. That is ankles for you in a short form. Moving up to the hips, right? Not the hips, sorry, the knees. Now, when you think of knees, what is the function technically? They bend, and because they bend, you can climb up the stairs, you can go down the stairs, you can sit, because if you didn't have knees, it would be really awkward trying to sit with a straight foot, right? So metaphorically, when you have knee pain, and this is such a common pain around the planet, right? And we get surgeries done, and then it becomes better, and then the pain comes back, and and all sorts of things. But knees is about bending with the changes in our life. Where are you finding it hard to accept the changes? Where are you finding it difficult to bend with the changes? Life throws us so many challenges, so many different scenarios, and sometimes they're really hard to accept. If something happens to our loved ones, it's hard to accept, right? If something goes wrong and we weren't expecting it, it's hard to accept it. And it's not that I'm saying you have to accept it, it's just because it's difficult, right? It's hard to bend with the changes in our lives. Thank you for all the loves and the likes, whoever's sending it. Thank you so much. I don't know. Hi, Robert, all the way from Philippines. So nice to see you here. So the knees help us change, right? From sitting to standing to walking down. And so knees are all about changes. And when you find it hard to accept the changes, or you're stuck in your ego and says, no, it can't happen this way. And so you're inflexible and you got knee issues. So no matter what you're doing to take care of your knees, right? Kneecaps, pills, medications, injections, those are temporary fixes. The root issue is, what are you holding on to that has been hard for you to accept, to not change? Where are you being inflexible? And when you let go of those feelings, the knee pain disappears, okay? Lower back, coming back to actually hips and lower back is kind of connected. So I'm just gonna call it lower back. Now, lower back is, of course, the root chakra, right? Because, and so root issues, when you think of your root basic issues in life, they are to do with security, safety, stability. So your lower back, right? If you have anything going on with your lower back, or even things in your, the organs in the lower back, the lower spine, right? That's the lowest part. So it all has to do with issues. So if you have something going on with your lower back, it's about survival issues, fearing for your survival. How will I, maybe you're someone who is older and you don't know. I have a lot of people who say, I don't know how I'm going to support myself financially. I'm afraid. And so security issues, you're not feeling secure, you're not feeling safe, right? Trust issues. All these issues are creating lower back problems, pains, okay? So lower back is all about safety. Where are you not feeling safe? Where are you not feeling secure? Is it financially? Is it maybe family? We have so many issues, in our relationships, and especially with the close ones, right? So do you feel like you're not supported by your family? Do you feel like you don't have financial support? Do you feel like you don't feel safe? You don't have stability, financial stability, family, relationship stability? That's all sort of connected with the lower back. And actually the whole lower back all the way to the feet is about, forward movement, right? Because the hip bone is the one that's really responsible for carrying you forward. So again, not feeling secure moving forward, not feeling stable moving forward, not having financial security or family security. Those are all the messages, right? When your lower back acts up, you gotta go and ask yourself, where am I not feeling safe? Where am I not feeling secure? Am I feeling like, I don't have support from my family? All those issues. Then we jump to the middle back. Now, middle back is the stomach area, right? It's the solar plexus. And solar plexus, the key words are really power and control. So if you have middle back issues, where are you feeling powerless? Who has taken your power? Maybe you have given your power away to others, right? So many times we depend on everybody outside of ourselves to tell us what to do. And so you're not kind of feeling in control, or somebody else is, like somebody else is on your back, and you feel like, I don't have any control, I don't have any power, I can't change this situation. And so you feel powerless. And then there's the other, the other problem, right? When you are over controlling and you're over, pushing yourself and your stuff onto others, that will also create a problem, right? When you study the chakras and the pendulum stuff, it's so fascinating, because if it's moving really fast, that means it means like the other problem, like there's issues with over controlling and overpowering. And you see that a lot in politicians, right? It's all about power and control. And so when you have a healthy sense of power and control, that's a good thing, right? So then you're not out of balance. And so when you have stomach issues, and it's like not feeling in control, not being able to organize, not being able to take charge and be in control, that's what the solar plexus is all about. Okay, moving on to the upper back. Now when you think of the upper back, it's the front side is the heart, right? The upper back. In the mid back, the front is the stomach. The heart, right? That's where the upper back. And so each chakra has a front and a back. It's two. There are two sides. And so when you think of the upper back, it's all about emotional support, right? It's about not feeling emotionally supported. I have so many times, and these issues are also related to breast cancer and all kinds of issues with the breast, right? Your heart is here on your upper body, and when you feel unloved, when you feel like, I do so much for the other people, and I give so much, and I go out of my way, but I don't get back I don't get as much back, that's upper back pain. That's upper back issue, or even heart issue, right? It's like your cup is empty, but you're not getting anything filled up. So a lot of our, of course, it's about relationships, right? Because you not loving yourself, and you not supporting yourself, and you not taking care of yourself, and putting everybody else first. And then what happens with that is eventually you feel resentful, because you say, hey, I do so much for these people, and they don't give back to me. They don't care, right? And at the very extreme level, there is breast cancer. When this is an intense feeling for a long period of time, your heart chakra is blocked and blocked and blocked. And whenever there is a blockage, right, then the energy is not flowing freely to those parts of the body. And then you have pain and disease in that area, right? So whenever you have upper back pain, also ask yourself, like, where am I not feeling loved? Why am I, over giving? Why don't I love myself? Because we're always expecting the other person to love me, to do this to me. But the fact is that when we love and take care of ourselves, then others respect us. First, we need to respect and love ourselves. And then we will find that respect and love. So if you are finding that you are overdoing it, and you're always the one who's reaching out, and I'm the one who's always, patching up with my husband because every time, he doesn't care and blah, blah, blah. Well, it's not that he's the problem. It's also that, why aren't you respecting yourself? Why aren't you loving yourself? And this whole thing goes down to, I don't feel good enough. And that's like a whole different ball game. But that's the bottom line of, I don't feel good enough. Because if I don't do it, then they won't love me, right? So I do it so that they love me, but then they don't love me. And so I overdo it, but they still don't. So it's a very complicated thing, but just remember that if you have upper back or even heart, right, issues with the heart, then it's a blockage, right? And you want to love and respect yourself and honor yourself. And that's basically upper back pain, right? It's not feeling emotionally loved, supported, not being open, or maybe it's you, like you're so pissed off that you don't want to give love anymore. I'm so angry, I don't want to, I don't care about them. That will still create a block in you because the energy is not flowing, okay? So this is like really snapshots. It goes much deeper, but let's keep moving. Throat. And this is easy, right? When you think of the function of the throat, it's about communication, throat, to express yourself. But many times we swallow our feelings. We swallow our pain. We swallow our anger. Why? Because we can't express it. It's not appropriate, right? And also it's sometimes you keep your true feelings to yourself. And somebody might ask you, hey, what do you think of this? And you think, oh, I better not say it because they'll judge me, they'll make fun of me. And so it creates blocks in expressing your truth. So whenever you have issues with your throat, and a lot of thyroids, whatever kind of thyroid you have, or whatever kind of throat issues you have to do with swallowing your feelings, your beliefs, not expressing yourself, not being able to freely say what you want, right? I don't, a lot of people say, I don't have the freedom to say what I want because I'll be judged. My parents don't even want to listen to me. A spouse won't listen to me. I can't say this. Or I've even had cases where somebody knows that the person is lying, but they're afraid to ask them and go up there and just ask them, right? This is about expression, expressing to yourself, expressing to others. And so they have this block, and now they have laryngitis, can't speak, no voice coming out. And laryngitis or whatever, whatever stuff is going on with your throat, get the medicine, but also reflect on, where am I withholding myself, right? Where am I lying to myself? Where am I not expressing my truth? Because if somebody asks you and you think, I better not say that, because then you just you become the yes person. Yeah, I agree. But then it still creates a block because now you're frustrated because that's not what you wanted to say. So you're not expressing your truth. You're swallowing the truth. You're swallowing the anger. You're pissed at someone and you can't express it. You've swallowed it. And it creates an energetic block, okay? So those are all issues with throat, communication. Now these are the little minor chakras, but there are so many people who have ear problems and eye problems over the 12 years that I've been doing this, and they cannot understand because they've gone to the doctor and, this red eye, this pink eye, this small eye. I had a client whose eye had become so small she could hardly see. So every part of your body has a message, and the eyes, let's just start from the eyes because it's it's eyes, nose, throat. The ENT specialist, right? You go to an ENT specialist. So eyes is about seeing. You see the world with your eyes, right? So what, if you have issues with eyes, it's what have you been seeing right now, or what did you see, or, that has been upsetting you? What are you seeing in your life that makes you sad, that makes you unhappy, that makes you fearful, that makes you worry? I had a client whose daughter was doing drugs. And, she felt sad for her daughter. She felt helpless. She felt hopeless. And over time, She had been to all the doctors and all the, experts, and her eye was just becoming smaller and smaller and smaller. What's so painful that you don't even want to see? So that, this is a general feedback, right? This is a general thing, but you can go back in detail. I had a client who had been diagnosed with AIDS, and it was painful for him to see, the way his life was limited. So there can be, and all these issues can be interconnected, right? You're not being able to express yourself. You're not being able to, you don't like what you see. So ENT, eyes, nose, throat, they're interconnected because they're all part of the communication system of your body. And the mouth has to do with expression. The ears have to do with listening. So what have you been listening to that's been painful? People have ear aches and all kinds of complications where they have to get their adenoid surgery and so on and so forth. So what are you listening to? Or what do you not want to listen to? I don't want to listen to that, right? Or what's painful? Or where are you not listening to yourself? Like, you're supposed to follow through with this inspiration or this message that is clear to you, but you're not listening to yourself. So where are you blocking listening to yourself? Where are you blocking listening to others? Or what are you listening to that's really painful? All that will create blocks in your energy, in the ear, and eventually blocked energy is dis-ease, right? Nose. Nose is about self-worth. They say she's got her nose up in the air, right? So the nose has to do with self-worth issues. And I have so many people. I just had a conversation with someone who says, someone I know has a breathing problem. They can't breathe. I think it's the air conditioner because we try to keep the air conditioner. And really, it may worsen it. It may, change it, but it's not the cause. The AC is not the cause of your stuffy nose or your whatever is going on with your nose. That's not the cause, right? It may get aggravated with it, but that's not the real cause. The real cause is I'm not feeling good enough. I don't value myself. I don't know my self-worth. I don't see my self-worth. Or it's the other way, right? Like too egotistic and too much, you're thinking too much about yourself. And so self-worth issues will create, I have so many clients with sinusitis and something, right? Just the inflamed sinuses. And it's to do with self-worth, but it's also to do with relationships. And so it's all interconnected, but this is just a basic gist of what you can begin to pay attention to, right? Runny nose, right? Runny nose is, I was just talking to someone and said, my kids and I have been tapping for 12 years now, and we tap away the colds and the fevers and the coughs and the blah, blah. How? Because every part of your body is speaking. And when you have a cough, it's again throat, right? Eyes, nose, ears, and it's communication. So what are you pissed off about? What are you angry about that you haven't communicated? And runny nose is overwhelmed. When there's a lot going on and you have this drippy nose and you think, oh, I've got a cold. Yeah, but it's also because of overwhelm. It's like an inner crying for help. That's literally your nose is crying for help. Like, I wish I had help. Oh my God, I have so much to do. Okay, maybe this sounds all woo-woo, but stay with me and begin to become aware and notice. Okay, third eye is about intuition, right? A sixth sense. So are you paying, if you're too, if you're not listening to your intuition, right? And you're being over analytical and over judgmental and overthinking and over analytical and not letting it flow and not listening to your intuition, you'll have headaches and migraines and all kinds of things. So that's pay attention to your intuition. And when you are, when you are not overcritical and not over judgmental of yourself, right? And not, especially people who are perfectionists, right? They expect so much out of themselves. And then when they don't get there, they beat themselves. And then you have a headache. And so this is about not being overcritical, not overthinking, not overbeating yourself, and just listening to your intuition. And you can only do that when you don't have any blocks. Then the energy is flowing, and then the inspiration comes through and you can listen to it. So that is from your feet all the way till your head. And so there are certain affirmations that you can say, and you can literally cook up these affirmations once you know which part of your body is blocked. You can create your own affirmations, but just to get you started, my kids used to say this when they were 5 and 6 years old, and they actually said it like a song. When I would drive them to school, their primary school, they would say, I put my best foot forward, anyway. So this is the affirmation, starting from the foot till the head, right? I'm going to put it like this. So you can take a snapshot and just, have it with you if you want, or create your own once you understand. So I put my best foot forward. Of course, when you're not feeling strong moving forward, I'm just going to read them through, okay? I move forward with strength. That's your ankles. I bend with all the changes. That's your knees. I'm grounded and safe. That's your lower back. I'm open to all pleasure. That's your sacral chakra, still part of your lower back. I take charge of my life. That's your solar plexus, right? Not feeling in control. I'm open to giving and receiving love. That's your upper back. I like the way I see my world. That's your eye. I listen with love and peace. That's your ear. I know my self-worth. Nose. I'm open to all points of view. This is basically your whole throat chakra, right? Communication, listening, speaking, seeing. So I'm open to all points of view. And that's also the neck, by the way, because when you have a stiff neck, you can't see all points of view. That's not about that I slept on the wrong side of the pillow. That's like, where in your relationships are you feeling stiff? Where in your relationship are you not wanting to listen to the other person's point of view? Okay? I'm open to inspiration, and I'm one with the universe. That's your crown chakra, right? It's above your head, and it's this part of the body connects us to the heaven. That this one grounds us to the planet. And so these are. I hope you were able to get a snapshot of this. You're shifting the energy. You're shifting the energy. Your thoughts create your reality, and what you say to yourself is creating your reality. And when you say good things, like I put my best foot forward, I move forward with strength, I take charge of my life, I'm open to lots of love, I communicate with ease, it starts opening up all the blocked energy, right? And you start returning to a state of flow. Of course, if you've got stuff going on for years, you can't just rely on these affirmations. You have to get, you've got to get to the root issues, which is far more complicated, but at least you know now, like, how you can pay attention to the basic messages from your body and use these affirmations to help unclear those blockages. So I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to list them below. And if you are someone who is feeling stuck and who wants one-on-one help, I'm going to put a link up so you can fill out the assessment form and send it to me, and we can have a chat. Okay, thank you so much for joining me. I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you next week again. Bye, guys.